Hey there, neighbors and naysayers. September the 14th, 2024. I just was in a different place than I normally am, so I thought I'd take a video. This is the main creek that runs through the farm. As I was coming through here, I just couldn't help but stop and take a video because I was walking down this dry creek bed. Of course, this is the first time I've ever seen it dry. And looked to the right, looked to the left, and knew exactly where I was. This is the creek of my boyhood. This is the creek of my youth. I spent, I don't know, I couldn't tell you how many thousands of millions of hours I spent down here playing in this creek. Me and my buddies, and anytime anyone ever came over, we were in the creek. We were down here. Just up there used to be a set of twin beaches. One of them fell here not 5-6 years ago. So there's only the single left, but I know exactly where I'm at. Nice flat spot up there. One time I rescued a cow that had calved and went paralyzed out of this particular spot right here. My mom and I, when my dad was at work, and I was about 12 or 13 years old. The cow's name was Midget, if anyone's following along at home. It's pretty funny that you remember all those things and all the trials and tribulations you went through back then. But this is where we played, you know, and a drought record said yesterday, driest we've ever been in 150 years, which is to the beginning of record, which is something. So I'm down here today looking for water, not because I think I can harvest it out of this creek, obviously, but where are the seeps still running? What's still running? Is anything still running? And the good thing is the spring that feeds the hogs and to a lesser extent the house is down here, just down creek another couple hundred feet, and from there on the creek's flowing because the water's still coming out of there. What overflow is coming out of there even after feeding the house and the hogs is more water than the spring that is currently feeding the cows and the stocker steers, which is a good thing because the spring that's currently feeding the cows and the stocker steers is not enough. We're running out, or we don't have enough water over there. That's why I'm down here. I ended up in this field just looking. We got a tire tank on this spring down here that we can bring the calves to right now and get them filled up, and then we can take them back out of here and put them somewhere else. But we're at the point where we gotta split things up, and we gotta put them places where there are water. I was just at a farm tour on Thursday night, and they had cattle all over the place, and I was like, why? That is the exact wrong thing you can do in a drought, is put cows everywhere or livestock everywhere and let them pick, which was the comment I heard, but it didn't have anything to do with picking. It had everything to do with keeping them watered. At this point, we are past the point of no return. Everything's dry and crispy. It ain't gonna matter at this point. There's nothing alive above the soil level, really, for the most part. I mean, some of it will rejuvenate, but for the most part, there's nothing up in the pasture fields. There's nothing alive. The plant's alive down below the surface, I'm sure, where it's cool, but almost all of the vegetation above ground that the cows would eat is dead at this point because there's no water to feed it. I have to talk to the grass pathologist and see what she says about it, but that's my opinion. Even the 4 inches that we typically leave at this point is dead. So it doesn't really matter really if they get moved around. I mean, that is last resort, is to put cattle all over the place in different fields. It's last resort to keep from having to haul water, because one of the resources we try to conserve is humans, and boy, if we try to haul water, that's going to put an awful strain on the human part of this resource. So just thought I'd take a video. It's kind of cool and nostalgic to be down here. It's really sad too to think that this creek is this wide, and it doesn't flow that wide and that deep. It'll flow that wide, but it's very, very shallow down through here when it's through a wet time or through a normal time of the year. But to see it completely dry is just something. While I was here, I couldn't stand the thought of not coming down here and seeing it. I wish Ethan was with me. I keep trying to tell him, you know, to remember what's happening. We just got back from Barnesville Sale Barn, hauled 4 cull cows, got 2 more cull cows to go. Cows that either didn't calve or lost their calf, and it's probably, some of them it's through no fault of their own, it's the drought. But it doesn't matter at this point. We have to reduce to the point where we can water them more than what we can feed, and feed's becoming an issue too. I've done the math 4 or 5 times on what we have for hay, and I told Dad today it's within the margin of error. It's like our election. It's within the margin of error. It's all about how much we waste. If we don't waste much, then we've got enough to make it through. If we waste a bunch, then we don't have enough. And I'm waiting on the hay test to come back before I really make a move on buying any hay, because I want to see what quality we have and what it would cost us to buy, or what we need to make our hay the quality that it needs to be. So with that, I'll say, we'll see you next time.